It's time for that cruise news. Hey, and welcome to the Midships channel. I'm Corey, and I'm going to be walking you through that sweet, sweet cruise news today. And there's a lot of it. Have you ever wondered what it'd be like to live on board a cruise ship full time? Well, most of you know it's darn expensive. However, down in Miami, they may change all of that. Plus, Carnival Cruise Line and one of their famous birthday celebration ships, well, they've officially arrived in Hawaii. So it's time to go ahead and see what the Hawaiian Islands brought to welcome the Carnival Miracle. And Royal Caribbean is stepping up big time to help their crew members who are Ukrainian or who have family members in the Ukraine. Tell you everything you got to know about it, and let's just start there today from cruisehive.com. By Melissa Mayntz, Royal Caribbean offers support to Ukrainian and Russian crew members. Okay, before we start this article, I can see the comments lighting up. It's important to remember that the ordinary run-of-the-mill everyday Russian citizen like you and me here in whatever country you're a citizen of, me in the US, they don't want this war with Ukraine. They're out protesting against it. It's a very small amount of people in Russia that appear to really be in support of this conflict that's going on. So let's get back into the article with that little caveat, that asterisk there. Let's just get into the article. Royal Caribbean International has offered open communications, travel options, counseling support, and more to their over 700 Ukrainian as well as Russian crew members in light of the regional tensions between the two nations. This support is to assist crew members to keep in touch with their loved ones and to strengthen the family-like bonds shared by all ship and crew members. According to a post on his official Facebook page, Royal Caribbean CEO Michael Bailey has announced options offered to Ukrainian as well as Russian crew members impacted by the escalating conflict. In total, there are more than 500 Ukrainian crew members across Royal's fleet and over 200 Russian crew members. Michael says, "We've made available all communication channels that we have so they can access their families. And while specific communication details have not been announced, all Royal Caribbean ships are equipped with Wi-Fi access for email, chatting, as well as video messages, and crew members may also be able to use their own cell phones while they're on board, at least while they're in ports. In addition, Royal Caribbean's offering assistance for crew members to travel home or close to home if they wish to leave the ship. If future crew members want to leave the region that's affected right now and join with their ships early, Royal Caribbean is also working with them to expedite their contracts and their travel plans to be a little bit ahead of schedule. And in addition to assisting their crew members with communications, Royal Caribbean's also communicating with booked passengers who have sailings to Russian ports on their itineraries. And in a letter sent out to booked guests yesterday, Royal states, "At this time, our intention is to still sail to St. Petersburg. However, we have also secured alternative ports should we feel that changing our itinerary becomes the best path forward. We understand that the developments in this region might make you hesitant to sail to Russia, so here are some options to ensure you have the best time with us." And of course, we already know what options Royal Caribbean generally provides to people who want to change or cancel altogether. You could rebook on a different cruise at a different itinerary, or you could cancel outright, or just accept the cruise and go with the flow. Whoa, Captain Corey here. I am high on caffeine, but I do want to take a second to break into your cruise news and remind you, the Midships Instagram account, it's waiting for you. All you have to do to subscribe is either follow this link up here in the upper right-hand corner, the one in the description below this video, or you can just search for us. It's Midships Cruise right there on Instagram. That's where you can find all the cruise content I post, but not here on the Midships YouTube channel. It's a cool place to follow. I actually just put up a picture of me and Tony from La Lido Loca, so check it out. And last but not least, I do want to remind you, my Amazon influencers page, well, it's available to you down in that description box as well. That's where you can find all the cruise-related items that I take with me on every single cruise. They're all kind of luxury items, but most of them cost like $8, maybe up to $20, and they're things you never knew you could live without until you've forgotten one on your cruise. Trust me, I forgot my magnetic wall hooks. I hated it. Literally hated it. So check it out, and the best part, just clicking on those links does help support this channel and keep me cruising just a little bit. Thanks so much. Now, let's get back to the cruise news. Woo! Now it's time to talk about yet another cruise line changing their protocols here in the US, and that, of course, is Bahamas Paradise, the little cruise line that could. If you're not familiar with them, they're that cruise operator that offers 2-night itineraries from South Florida over to Nassau, Bahamas, and back. They're very inexpensive. I think I saw Ship Life did a cruise aboard Bahamas Paradise. If you weren't already aware, Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line is now in partnership with Jimmy Buffett and his Margaritaville outfit. So pretty soon we're going to see this Margaritaville at sea experience. So since we're going to see that, it's time to talk about the protocols that you're going to find on Bahamas Paradise from cruisehive.com by Melissa Mayntz. Following moves by larger, more widespread cruise lines, Bahamas Paradise has announced changes to their COVID testing options, along with an easing of their masking policy for cruises beginning on March 1st. This follows similar moves from many other cruise lines. For Carnival, Princess, Holland America, and Norwegian cruise lines, masks also become optional on March 1st. And aboard Royal Caribbean cruise ships, masks already went to being recommended, not required on February 25th. And in an unexpected but very cool and guest-friendly move, Bahamas Paradise will be providing complimentary pre-cruise COVID testing at the terminal, effective immediately. And like I mentioned, that Margaritaville takeover is about to happen here. It's looming, pending pretty soon. The article goes on to state Grand Classica, which is their only ship in operation right now, will sail her final voyage April 16th. It'll be the last cruise with the current health and safety protocols that we just spoke about, including this new update on masks and testing. That's all going to remain in place through that date. After this final voyage under Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line, the ship will go into dry dock, re-emerging as Margaritaville at Sea Paradise, the flagship of the all-new vacation brand, Margaritaville at Sea. So there you go, Jimmy Buffett fans, get excited. Have you ever stayed at a Margaritaville property? I know I did one time over in the Virgin Islands. I had a really great time. I thought it was a really nice high-end property, felt safe, clean, very good, great access to everywhere on the east side of the island. Check it out. So how many of you out there have ever dreamt of living full-time on a cruise ship? Of course, it's like financially impossible for 98% of people on Earth to really consider living full-time on a cruise ship. It would be astronomically expensive to really live the good life on board. However, down in Miami, things might be a-changin'. Let's learn more from the Business Insider by Zahra Tayeb, how decommissioned cruise ships could be given a new lease of life as affordable housing in Miami. The cruise industry has encountered many difficulties in recent years, largely due to the global pandemic. One that's yet to be resolved is the growing number of ships that have been decommissioned as a result of the halt in travel. In September of 2020, Carnival announced plans to sell 18 less efficient ships. This would have generated a 12% reduction in capacity for the fleet, according to a press release. According to Reuters, the business of cruise ship dismantling was also up 30% in 2020, as more and more ships were being pulled apart for scrap metal. However, a Washington-based architectural firm may have found an opportunity to reuse these inactive ships for a broader purpose: affordable housing. Architectural designer Abe Dasuki told Business Insider he conducted a recent study to explore the possibility to take advantage of the oversupply of decommissioned ships as a primary housing structure in the city of Miami. Currently, we are seeing cruise ships be decommissioned at one of the highest rates in history, and simultaneously there's a growing lack of affordable housing in the Miami area, according to Dasuki. As part of the research study, Dasuki said 362 Miami residents were surveyed about whether they were interested in living in a coastal housing scenario. According to their findings, 88% of respondents were interested in the concept, with those aged between 41 and 50 being the most keen. One notable finding from his survey was a preference for natural light in the bedrooms on cruise ships instead of the living room. This prompted the inclusion of a courtyard in the middle of the ship as part of the design. Each room on board, referred to as a unit, would be designed for one person, Dasuki explained. Approximately 900 units would be able to fit on board a cruise ship, and each unit would cost roughly $1,250 a month. So I found that a pretty cool concept, and I wanted to share it with you. Something like that could be super helpful in a market like on the West Coast in California, where housing is like all the way through the roof. Affordable housing from a laid-up cruise ship, it's not a bad idea. There's some out there ideas. That one might not be so out there. Now, but speaking of out there, Carnival's cruise ship, the Miracle, she's finally way out there to Hawaii, and she's getting a Hawaiian welcome for Carnival's 50th birthday bash. From cruiseradio.net by Sarah Bretz, Carnival Miracle arrives in Hawaii. Earlier this week, the Miracle set out from Long Beach on Carnival's first 50th birthday celebration. On Friday, the ship arrived in her first port of call, Honolulu, Hawaii. To commemorate the festivities, ship leaders presented a celebratory birthday cake to local officials in the port of Honolulu. And here we have a picture of the Miracle with the celebratory cake in front of it here. Miracle's 14-night cruise is the first of 17 themed celebration cruises taking place through March 10th. The voyages will feature at-sea meetups with other Carnival cruise ships. So that's some pretty cool news coming from Carnival Cruise Line. There's really not a ton of cruise ships yet that have made it out to Hawaii, so every time we hear of one, it's good news. As you remember, the Hawaiian Islands, they really didn't want cruise ships to go there all that much, but hopefully now that they see that cruising has resumed safely and safely in their own ports, maybe their minds will be opened up just a little bit. Hopefully our neighbors up north in Canada and our friends way on the other side of the world in New Zealand and Australia can see the light soon as well. So all in all, it's a pretty good cruise news day, if I do say so myself. It's been a while since we've been able to report all this good info. Now, I do want to remind you, like I showed in the beginning of the video, the Midships merch store, it's open for business. It's a great way to support this channel and my work, help to keep me cruising, and get yourself some of that sweet, sweet cruise swag that you know other cruisers are going to be jealous of. If you made it this far into today's episode, why haven't you subscribed to the channel yet? I put out new content every single day that you can use if you're a cruiser. Thanks for stopping by the channel today, and until tomorrow, we'll see ya on the Midships.
La 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 la.